Imagine if I told you, mountains aren't just mountains, they're microchips. Not metaphorically, literally vast, petrified circuitry grown from ancient silicon trees. Sounds absurd, right? Good, because that's where mysteries begin, at the edge of what feels impossible. Here's the claim, the silicon tree theory. It says what we call mountains are the fossil remains of an engineered biosphere, colossal silicon-based trees that once pulled elements from the sky and the sea, branching into crystalline lattices. Over eons, their circuits collapsed and weathered into ridges, hexagonal columns, layered mesas, like burnt-out motherboards the size of countries. Shock aside, let me show you why people find this compelling. First, silicon is everywhere. It's the second most abundant element in Earth's crust. Quartz is silicon dioxide. Granite, full of silicates. We use silicon to build chips because silicon maps electrons neatly. Its crystal lattice is predictable, tunable. Second, nature loves patterns that look engineered. Basalt cooling forms perfect hexagons. Giant's Causeway is basically a 3D honeycomb. Desert varnish draws thin, dark circuits across rock faces. Petrified forests lock microscopic lattices into wood. Lightning, Lichtenberg figures, burn fractal circuitry into sand. Our planet writes with geometry, and our brains read that geometry as design. Third, erosion strips away casing and leaves cross-sections, layered strata that resemble stacked wafers. Slice a mesa, and it can look like a multi-layer PCB. Giant mountain fans splay out like heat sinks. River networks trace conductive paths. None of that proves anything, but you can see the allure. So, is it true? Here's the satisfy. Geology explains almost all of this with no conspiracy required. Hexagons form from uniform cooling and contraction. Layered wafers are sediment laid down over millions of years, then tilted, folded, and carved by water and wind. Heat sinks are simply differential erosion on hard and soft beds. And actual microchips carry regular periodic features at nanoscales, whereas rocks prefer messy, scale-free fractals. If mountains were integrated circuits, we'd expect repeating modular units with telltale symmetries and doped layers you could measure. We don't see that. But I don't think that makes the idea worthless. The best mysteries sharpen our tools. They force better questions. For example, could biology exploit silicon more than we thought? Diatoms already build glass shells. Sponges use silica needles. Life samples the periodic table opportunistically. Could self-assembling mineral networks perform computation? In the lab, chemical reaction diffusion systems compute. Mineral membranes can rectify flows. Put energy through a patterned medium and you get logic-like behavior. So here's the experiment I'd run. Map a circuit-looking rock formation across scales from kilometers down to nanometers, and test for periodic dopant-like gradients, unusual dielectric constants, or rectifying junctions. If the silicon tree theory holds any water, it should leave measurable, non-random, repeated motifs across scales. If not, the romance fades, but our instruments and our humility get better. Mountains are not microchips, but they are records. They compute time, pressure, and heat into form. And maybe that's the deeper secret. We keep mistaking wonder for evidence, and evidence for the end of wonder. Look long enough at a mountain, and you'll see a mind at work. It might just be your own. So, are mountains microchips? Probably not. But the fact that we can even ask, then test, means we're doing what matters most, turning shock into curiosity, and curiosity into understanding. I'll take that any day.